Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
That's right. That's so, you say that very sensually with the little dance, and it brings me joy.
You know, I got to do it for those male viewers.
do it for the gram, isn't that what they used to say? The kids used to say.
That was a thing. I don't know that that's still a thing anymore.
Who knows?
I'm not youthful. I don't fucking know.
I'm 39.75 years old. I can't keep up. So.
No.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm glad you're back because you just got back, and I haven't seen your pretty face in person for a week.
Yeah.
And that is entirely
Which is just by luck. I wasn't gone for an entire week. Like I wasn't on vacation for a week. I was only on for like a few days. But
yeah,
went to Colorado. It was lovely. The weather there was nice and cold. And I say cold. I'm a fucking fuckwad. It was like 95 at one point, but it's warm during the day and it's not the same kind of heat.
Yeah.
So then you come back here and you're just kind of like, fuck everything and everyone. Because we live in Kentucky.
Oh, God.
And it is very fucking hot right now. It's like stupid hot.
In Satan's taint. And everybody's like, oh, it's raining. It rained for like 40 days and 40 nights. And then everybody's like, I miss the sun. Well, it's fucking here.
Yes.
And I'm over it. I have seasonal summer depression. I told Brooklyn when she was gone that I'm not going to go outside unless water is involved. So there's that.
Yes.
Because fuck that.
I agree.
Instead of being a snowbird, I was asking Jess before this, like, I want to move north for the summer instead of going south for the winter like older people do for Florida.
I think everyone should be fucking going up north for the summertime. Fuck this shit.
Do you want to?
Let's
Let's do it.
No, I mean, I don't want to. I have a garden I'm really tending to right now that's thriving. So I don't want to leave.
I'm really busy.
I am super busy.
I have a life. Have fun in Michigan.
Right.
Man.
So we do have another fun trip coming up because it's like, I don't know, it's been really busy just trying to like squeeze in things because we've done a lot of life changes with our careers and shit, which means no money, but there is time.
Yes.
There's time for travel.
There's time for travel.
There's time for travel. And I am taking it.
Good.
And so we're doing a hiking trip. You, me, Jess, Katie.
Jess and her Brooklyn. That's what we say.
Yes. Which her name is Katie.
Katie.
And me and Jess were just talking about, we're like, we've got to get this planned and ready to go. Because Jess and I are the ones that are like, we have goals and objectives. We have objections. That's how I've been listening to a fucking audiobook that's all been in court.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And I'm over here like, no.
No. I'm over here like, no, court terms. Like, no. They say that so much in court.
I couldn't think of one at all in the second I was about to say it, but you reacted too quick. And I was like, well, now I just take my lashings.
I object.
For not being whatever. Anyway, so we've been talking about this hiking trip and we're like, we are ready to go.
Right.
Travis and I are training for a 14er that we're going to do towards the beginning part of summiting a 14,000 foot summit. And so as we've been there, we've realized too how underprepared we are. I'm less underprepared. I'm going to say that just because I hit the gym all the time. But my husband, definitely because of the way he hunts, he is actually probably the one that would somehow, even though he doesn't work out, he would still like spank me on a fucking mountain, which just pisses me off.
He would. Sounds like a fun time to me.
He's going to earn it. But anyway, I'm excited because
you've missed me.
Yeah.
She's like, I quit. Sun's out, guns out. I just told her, I was like, hey, Fit Fam, I see you.
No.
Don't use your court terms and legal jargon with me. No. I'm like, I just came back from vacation. I feel absolutely shitty about myself. I'm like, I am not going to take any nice compliments about it. I know.
I shut down that shit. I do not permit compliments at a time I do not feel I deserve them. I'm sure there's a therapist listening. There's a therapist listening right now that's like, that is unhealthy as fuck.
I'm like, you look fit. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not in a headspace to get that kind of compliment. I'll give you 16 weeks for you to get that.
Maybe you could wear like a different color bracelet or something if you're feeling good that day. And I'll be like, oh, it's a green one. You look pretty.
Right. She can take
it's red. I'll be like, hello.
Did you not sleep well?
How are you? I
should do that to you. That would piss you off more than anything.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm gonna now.
No.
Now I have it. It's in my pocket.
Damn it.
I'm gonna end up doing that.
You know what's in my pocket?
Heather's always telling how she doesn't sleep well, so now I'm gonna start.
I quit doing it because that's a good thing about having a best friend. Because they point out the things you don't notice.
Yes.
So like,
she's like, I try not to talk about it. And I'm like, Heather, it's the only thing you've said to me over the last like 14 days. Yeah. And you're like, well, damn, I didn't realize I was. I'm like, yeah.
So now I don't say it. She just knows.
Yep. Just, I'm under the assumption you didn't sleep.
Except for last night, what's that? Ford, I was like a rock. Is Ford, wasn't that their slogan? Like a rock, that song?
I don't remember.
What did you just take?
I should have known. I should have aspirin.
Okay. Yeah, the way you took it.
And I've been here for 2 seconds. You've already given me a headache.
Welcome back. I have that.
Let's get into it. I'm excited about this story.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock.
You're ready to rock? Well, let's go. I'm just going to jump right in.
Good. I love those.
Okay. My sources, people.com, Fox 2 Detroit, ABC News, the Indy Star, which they have some good shit on.
They do. They really do.
They deliver.
Fuck yeah. Rock on, Indy Star. I thought the same thing. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Lately, I don't know. I guess you never realize how clutch some like.
Right. A source is.
Yes. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you find one and you're like, wow, now I only do stories near Indy.
Yeah, I know. We put it on our LinkedIn. We're like, all that's interesting.com. And there are a ton of shows that I watched about it, but I always trust Old Faithful. Snapped. So season 24, episode 13 from 2018.
Okay.
And I was looking up murders because you and Travis were talking about wanting to go to the UP in Michigan, the Upper Peninsula part.
Yes.
So I was like, I've been there and there's a lot of places to hide bodies.
Yes.
Up there, which was my first response because hello. Today I'm going to start by telling you about Chris Regan. He was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. He joined the Air Force when he was in his early 20s and was stationed nearby Marquette, Michigan. And while there, he met a teacher named Terry O'Donnell. She was from a small town up in the UP called Iron River. That's Chris.
Okay.
And then that's Chris and Terry.
All right.
Cute.
Yes, they are very cute.
Yes, they are. So
they look happy and like they definitely put a lot of natural foods in their cart. Like they just look like a couple that like to me strikes me as like a not aggressive processed food eater. I feel like they eat a lot of salads and like fish. And they're not like specifically like fit people. They just look to me like I mean, that's what's in their shopping cart.
Typecast.
I don't know.
I mean, it tracks.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm like, they just look like they take care of themselves.
Yeah. So Terry fell for him hard and said that it was cute, like on the shows and stuff. She was like, well, he made me feel like I was the only girl in the room. But they were just close friends and stayed that way for a while. So they dated other people and both of them went their separate way for years. So when Chris retired from the Air Force in December of 2012, he slid into Terry's DMs.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. So how to be DM time frame.
Yeah. And that was 2012.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they decided to become more than friends because they really hit it off. Chris moved to Traverse City, Michigan, and they did long distance for a while. They were both huge into the outdoors, and in Iron River, where Terry lived, it's a small area, but it's huge and popular for outdoor recreation.
Glorious.
So I think that you and Trav would like that place.
Great.
Yes. And after dating long distance for 11 months, Chris decided to move to Iron River to be closer to Terry and the wilderness or whatever in November of 2013. So Chris, at this time, he was 52 years old. He got a supervisor's job at a manufacturing plant up there and made parts for naval ships. In 2014, he met another Iron River transplant who got hired on at his job as well. So, like, a lot of people were born and raised there, but he met another person that moved there to the town, and her name was Kelly Cochran. Now, let me tell you about
Cute name.
Right.
Cochran's such a good last name.
Reminds me of, I kept thinking of Johnny Cochran the whole time, like OJ's lawyer.
Oh.
That's the only time I've ever, it sounds a cute name, though.
Yeah, it is a cute name. I also like the name Kelly.
Me too.
I'm a really big fan of the name Kelly.
Me too. I wonder why. Kelly Clarkson. Okay.
Oh.
Do not react, though.
I was like, I thought for sure she was mentioning because of like Saved by the Bell.
Kelly Kapowski?
Yeah. I never once thought. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
Now, Kelly was a 33-year-old who had moved there with her husband, Jason. Jason and Kelly were neighbors in their hometown of Maryville, Indiana, and they met each other really young, and they were actually neighbors.
So after Kelly graduated high school, they got married and opened up a pool service company together. And they were really happy. Everybody said they were super in love. And the business was successful for about 10 years until Jason's back started giving out really bad. And he had to quit. He couldn't even lift anything. Now, she worked hard. She got multiple jobs. She was trying to support them because she loved them or whatever. His pain was unbearable to the point where he, just surviving. And you have back issues. So, yeah. And they chose Iron River, Michigan, and moved up there in February of 2014. So
I'm surprised he had to get rid of his business though.
Yeah, well, she was. Yeah, I think they were running it together, and
I know. I'm just I would. My first thought would be just hire someone to come in and do the work that you can't do.
Yeah, that's them. Kelly and Jason. Yeah, there you go, Jess.
That's a combo.
Yeah.
That is a combo. That is not the Kelly I thought in my mind.
She's not Kelly Kapowski.
No, she looks like she would fucking beat my ass into the ground.
She looks like
she's sitting in a way that I shouldn't be able to clearly see your triceps. And I can clearly see her triceps. And I don't even have glasses on.
I want her to have my back in a bar fight.
I want her to take me to the gym and show me how the fuck to work out.
Well, she's trying to run a pool company by herself, so I guess
I feel like she could have. Showing me that girl's fucking shoulders, I'm sure she fucking could have. She's like, you know what? Fuck it, guys. I don't even need you. The box says lift with 2 people. She's like, I got it. Fuck. All right. Strength.
So they chose Iron River and they moved up there in February 2014. So she got a good paying job with where Chris Regan worked. And then Jason wanted a I almost said miracle. A miracle marijuana card.
It would be a miracle. I'm just going to say, marijuana cards are miracles.
He wanted a miracle marijuana card. No, a medical one because of his back pain. That's what he was using to treat it. So
yeah, that's what I used to treat it too.
So since Jason couldn't work, he got super into online video games and he was kind of introverted. So those were his main source of friendships outside of the home. Kelly worked.
He's a grown ass man. And he just smokes weed and plays video games. Yeah. My vagina just got so dry. I'm sure that this is going to end well. I'm sure no one's going to cheat. This is great. I feel confident no one's going to cheat. An affair isn't going to happen. Totally great.
Right. And that's the end of the story. He won World of Warcraft and
right?
Everybody wins. No. Okay. I wish that was the case.
I know, right?
So Kelly worked multiple jobs and then now we're back up to speed. Her new friend Chris, work, husband's at home. Okay. So they bonded over the fact that they were both outsiders to this area. And by April of 2014, 2 years after Chris and Terry started dating, he broke up with Terry. Chris did. The teacher. Okay. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But they remained best friends. They still went out to eat. They were still friends, and you don't want to know why? I have to mention this. She was planning a family vacation to Europe, and she was like, okay, I'm going to be gone for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to see other women while she was gone. And she was like, I don't think I'm down for that idea. And
how old are these people? Sorry, we haven't
he's
gotten
52
years. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's 52. And
will you tell me the ages again? Where we're at in the years?
Yes,
sorry, I'm trying to understand where we're at.
2014. We're in 2014. Kelly Cochran is his coworker and his friend, married to the gamer. She's 33. They are both 33.
Okay.
Chris Regan is about 52. Okay. And so is Terry O'Donnell.
Okay.
Yeah. But so
interesting because that one dude looks really old in that photo. Mm-hmm. Kelly's husband is gray as fuck.
Yeah.
I would have almost thought it was their dad.
He's bald.
Oh, then I guess in this photo, there we go.
It was a glare, and I held it from 45 miles away.
So. Okay, I was like, I thought that dude looked really old. Then I got really confused. Because I was like, that guy's old. I can't understand ages, and how is anyone getting turned on by anything here? Okay, got it.
But I just thought it was interesting because you know what he told her? He was like, well, I want to see other women while you're gone because I'm going to be lonely and bored. That's what Chris told her.
I fucking swear. Were they together a long time?
2 years. And that was the one where they met and then they went other.
Yeah,
and then they came back. And then he was like, 2 years. And he was like, well, I'm going to get lonely and bored while you're gone. So I want to see other women. And she's like, I don't think I like that idea. And he's like, okay, well, we should break up. But then when she came back, they stayed friends. they still hung out. Like that, because that was his only friend in that town too, besides that Kelly bitch
Yeah,
at work.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
we have different type of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm over here like, dude, if I was with, I don't know. I say that, and then I have exes that I'm like, I couldn't wish the best for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there are definitely exes out there where I'm like, I literally hope you fucking thrive, or like, way to go. I just am.
And I wonder
shocked
about the mindset of where their relationship was, because I mean, I don't know, because she didn't seem pissed off about it. She was like, I don't like that idea, but we could still be friends. So I don't know. Yeah,
I swear.
No.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's
if two fucking years into it with Travis, he's like, well, you're gonna be gone for 3 months doing that thing or whatever the fuck it is, like not long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't not get your dick wet for a second.
I'm gonna be lonely and bored. Well,
get some lotion, some Kleenexes, and put on the TV. Fuck. Someone tell me I'm wrong. Golly, have a good glass of wine, dim the music, or dim the lights, play some music,
dim the music,
whack yourself
put on really good music, but turn it down super low.
Yes.
Dim the music.
I love how hard you're holding on to that.
I can't.
Yes.
It got my goat.
I can tell.
Okay, so Chris is like, okay, well, now I don't have a girlfriend anymore, so maybe I should go somewhere else. So he started looking to relocate again and started applying for jobs other places. He was just picking like outdoor recreational places in the U.S. and like just applying.
Oh.
So on October 10th, 2014, he called his best friend ex, Terry, and he was like, hey, guess what? I got a job offer in Asheville, North Carolina. And she's like, oh, good for you. Like that. He was so excited.
Yeah.
And he texted again on October 14th and he was like, hey, I took off the next day. I need to go to the doctor. And she's like, okay, let me know how it goes. Again, friends. So she tried reaching out and thought maybe he had a girl with him, because sometimes if he was like seeing somebody casually, he would take a little bit to answer because he didn't want to be disrespectful and didn't want to have to explain this is my ex best friend. When he had a lady friend,
which no one's gonna believe.
Right. I know. I was watching it like, I mean, I guess.
I mean,
some people can be platonic friends after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just usually not that easy for the other person to comprehend.
Especially outside looking in, I'd be like, sure.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
I'd be like, I don't think you need to be best friends with somebody you've touched their titties.
Right. I'd be like,
you can hang out.
Touching titties isn't a big deal, Heather. I just grabbed yours 4 times before we got in here. So let's do a little something more intense, like sex.
Okay. The sex.
Okay. Touching titties ain't no big deal. What? I actually bumped mine into everybody.
Well, I know you think you know how to drive them by now.
You would think. But you got to remember, for a long part of my life, my car was a lot smaller.
Now you got a Buick.
Now I still don't know how to get in the parking spaces, you know?
Oh, my God.
Yep.
She tried to get a hold of Chris. She couldn't get a hold of Chris. After 10 days of nothing, she was like, okay, he's never gone 10 days without talking to me. Like, he never ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good friends.
Yeah. So Terry went in and filed a missing persons report at the police station. And then they called his...
So they don't, like... So they were together for 2 years, but, like, there wasn't any family to call? I don't know. I'm just kind of shocked that she was the first one to do it.
Yeah, he didn't seem, the one I gathered from what I read, he didn't seem real close with his family. I mean, look, he was like picking up and moving and going. And
it doesn't seem like it would be as easy either, because it's not the same as like FaceTiming ever, you know, like you could meet people's parents and be close to them without ever actually like meeting them. Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of shocked that she was like an ex-girlfriend would be the one putting in a missing person.
Oh, yeah. So when the cops were like, well, let's call his new job. He probably just left and he's just busy or something. So they called his new job in North Carolina and they're like, no, we had him scheduled and he never showed up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then they were like, and then they thought, well, maybe he went hiking and he got injured or something, because they said it happens all the time.
Yes.
That people go out there and they get hurt or they just don't come back, unfortunately.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. No fear.
Yeah.
No fear.
And so they brought in the Michigan State Police and Terry went with them to Chris's apartment. She's like, okay, let's just go over there and look. He didn't answer, but let's go. So when they got there, the apartment had been ransacked. And Chris was he was in the Air Force. So he was like a neat freak, organized. That was a big part of his personality. So she's like, something's wrong, because he would never do this. They couldn't find his phone, and his car was discovered abandoned at the edge of town. And inside of his car, in the passenger seat, they found a Post-it with directions written on it. And they're like, What was that? And he didn't use addresses.
Post it with directions.
And he didn't use addresses because he's like old school. His Terry, she said that. She was like, he wouldn't want like you go to 123 4th Street. You have to say turn left at the bank, then go down 2 lights, then turn right. That's how he wanted his directions. That she was like, that's how he.
And this is like 2014.
Yep.
All right, Papa.
I know.
The fuck? I'm like, I'm literally sitting here like 11 years ago.
Right.
I haven't touched a map in a very long time.
Oh yeah.
So I have not printed on MapQuest in a very, very long time. So I'm like, what year?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Okay.
I know.
That shocked me.
Me too.
It bounced me into the 90s on accident.
So Terry said that he always writes it down just the first time because he's kind of like me. Like he can go somewhere one time and he's gonna remember where it is. I might have a horrible memory, but you know I can do that. Not it. No. And so the police followed the directions that were on the post-it, and they ended up at a house in an old mining community called Old Caspian that was nearby. And they knocked on the door, and a man named Jason Cochran answered the door.
Cochran. Cochran.
His wife and Chris Regan's work buddy, Kelly Cochran, came outside. And she said, I haven't seen him in a few weeks, and I'm worried because he's not answering me either. And they were like, well, why did he have directions to your house, lady? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Right.
The fuck?
I know. I don't know. They're like, okay. But she was being helpful and everything. So they were like, okay, well, that's weird, but whatever. Her husband, Jason, was standing off to the side acting like a big old weirdo. And he had no reaction. Like, he just looked annoyed that they were there. He stood on, like, she was like, oh, maybe he's here. Let's do this. And he was just like glaring. And they're like, what's his problem?
Whoa.
Yeah. And then, so they're like, well, maybe we should go see how him and Kelly know each other. So they go to their job, and the coworkers are like, oh, sit down. Let's tell you. Everyone at work was like, oh, they were banging. They weren't just friends. They were banging it out.
PSA, as I look into the camera, if you're having an affair with a coworker, I want you to know everyone fucking knows.
Yes. And you're
everyone fucking knows. No one doesn't know. No one maybe doesn't think it. Everyone fucking knows. And they're all talking about it.
Yes.
I want you to know that.
That's a good PSA.
In every fucking business, in every fucking town, if you are fucking your coworker, everybody know.
Right.
Everybody.
This is brought to you by the Sassholes.
Yes. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So don't try to get better at hiding it. Everyone already knows. Stop fucking doing it.
Stop it. Yeah.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
So everyone's like, oh, we all knew that. Everyone knew that, and Jason was mad. Like, their coworkers were like, her husband found out and was pissed.
I wonder why.
Right? And then, so they brought both of them in, and they separately interviewed them like they normally do. And Kelly was like, okay, fine. We were cheating, and we were kind of dating. We had a steady relationship.
You can't.
Right. But wait. So then she said, Jason knows about this, though, and we have an open relationship. Jason is like, the fuck? I did not sign off on that. She's a fucking cheater. Like, that's what they immediately separated them, and they both were. She's like, he knows, and then we're. No, she was trying to act like, well, he hurt his back, and he can't do stuff, so he wants me to have fun. The fuck?
He hurt his back, so he wants somebody else to break their back in my poonie. In my pootie.
In your pootie. You're pootie.
I wish a bitch would. I hurt my back. Travis is over here. Well, I'm fucking somebody else. Your back hurts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you.
Your back hurts.
And murder's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. Your back hurts. But no, play Call of Duty. I'm gonna go fuck this guy.
Right.
I don't want to hurt your back.
Oh, it must be difficult. No, just play that game. Here's a joint.
No, here's a joint. God. Take your miracle marijuana. I'm gonna go fuck my coworker.
Golly.
So, but after all, they didn't have any hard evidence. They just had all circumstantial. So they were like, ugh, we have to let them go. So, because they're like, it looks suspect.
I mean, you have to let them go for 14 minutes. Like, they're never going to have everything in the first interview.
5 months go by.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on March 15th, 2015, a new DA comes in, a new district attorney. He's like, we need to push harder on this. What the fuck? The case is just sitting here. So he goes in and he gets a judge to grant a search warrant for their house. So they found no signs of Chris Regan at Kelly and Jason's, but they did find something. A draft of a novel that Jason the gamer had been writing.
Okay.
Okay. This was titled Quack Quack's Revenge. Because Quack Quack was Jason's online gaming handle. Quack Quack's Revenge.
God, there is nothing hotter about that guy, man. Like, I am just, my motor's going. This guy, yes. God, that's so hot.
Quack Quack.
Fucking quack quack.
Quack Quack.
I say,
quack,
I don't
quack
even.
this pootie.
I don't even know. And I literally am married to a duck hunter.
Yeah. Oh
And
my God.
When you said quack, all of a sudden, my first thought is like hunting.
Oh no.
Because I'm in a weird state of being married to a hunter. But outside of that, I'm like,
yeah. It gave no context. It's just Quack Quack's Revenge.
oh my God, I want to read that more than anything.
Okay, so the novel was about Quack Quack. She can't.
Okay. In my mind, you're saying comic book. I'm not even hearing novel with quack quack. Like, that's not a novel in my head.
This is serious literature.
It sounds,
ma'am.
So
serious literature. Okay.
Were you able to find any of it? Like, were any okay, I'm going to shut up.
I was like,
sorry.
I'm
going to stop talking.
Okay, so Quack Quack goes on a killing spree about getting revenge against those who wronged him. One of the victims was named Christopher, and it described Chris Regan to a T. So, I'm going to keep going. So, on March 25th, 2015, they go back and talk to them again. They're like, we need to go back to the Cochran's house. Like, we got to go back. We got to go back to Quack Quack.
They should have never left.
We got to go back to Quack Quack. They go back. Car's gone. Belongings gone. The house is empty.
Of course.
Yeah. They gone.
Fucking course they gone. Fuckers.
So, they found out that they'd gone back to Indiana, and the Iron River police were like, hey, they called down there, and they're like, we need their DNA. Like, go get it. They call the cops in Indiana, and they're like, we need this. This is why, blah, blah. So, they get it. But on February in 2016, they still have nothing but circumstantial evidence. They have their DNA, but they don't have anything to test it against. They just have it on standby. And on February 20th, the police in Hobart, Indiana, got a call from Kelly Cochran. Kelly said, oh my God, please, 911. She called 911. She's like, Jason's not breathing. Like, he's not breathing. You need to come over here right now. So when they get there, Kelly's hysterical, and Jason had already passed away. He was sitting in the chair. Like, her husband was sitting in the chair. Dead.
Deceased.
Mm-hmm. They took Kelly to her in-laws' house, and they wanted to talk to all of them. And apparently, Jason had died from a heroin overdose.
Oh, we're doing heroin.
And so it looked like he had self-medicated because of his back pain.
Heroin has entered the chat. Okay, right. Wow, that was... you bring in the big H. Shit's a little different.
I feel like that...
Everything's crazy with heroin.
I should be called the big H.
Right?
Not heroin.
No, you should not be called the big anything.
Oh, no.
But heroin is a spicy little concoction.
That's a quick jump.
So I get why he was so the thought is that he was self-medicating because of his back injury.
Yeah, because apparently it was like debilitating. Should have had surgery. Bad.
It sounds like if you can't like live, then a surgery has to be
bad.
done,
Yeah,
maybe it's sciatica. I don't know. I also don't feel like, and I could be wrong.
Okay,
this is a complete assumption.
Okay.
Is that he probably wasn't going to see a chiropractor or doing appropriate stretches or working on his... None of that is too expensive with insurance. Chiropractors are the cheapest doctors ever out of all of them. Yeah. That's the cheapest thing you can go to. It's more expensive to go get a stretch at a stretch zone than it is to go get cracked at a chiropractor.
Go get cracked.
So I'm just like...
Yeah.
I just wonder if he was just one of those guys.
He just threw the towel in and was like,
yeah, I was just like, fuck
life.
it. Like, you can fix, like, that is a lie. You can't fix back pain. I mean, I don't know. I have a bad back. I'd gained weight, went through all of this shit to lose weight and then work out. And now my back has been great. So I'm just like,
yeah,
but I have to stretch it. There's a fucking annoying ass series of shit you have to do. And I'm just curious as to.
Makes sense.
The trip and fall into then heroin.
Right. Now, the The cops get a call from Jason's best friend, Walter Ammerman III.
Heather likes the thirds.
Because my husband is the third, we don't bring people into our marriage.
Sure.
Disclaimer.
Sure, guys.
We're not a throuple.
I'm kidding.
I was like, yeah, my husband is the third generation. Okay, so he just threw me. I was like, I'm not a swinger. Okay, I gotta focus. Okay, so they get a call. Jason's best friend, Walter Ammerman III, and he's like, he didn't fucking do heroin. He did not.
That's what I'm saying.
He did not do heroin. No. And Walter said that Jason had called him stressed out, saying that they were moved back, like before they moved back. He goes, hey, we're moving back to Indiana because that's where he lived. And he's like, we're moving back because they think we had something to do with this Chris Regan guy's disappearance. So we got to go.
Because he wrote a book about doing it?
Quack, quack.
I just have to say.
Quack, quack.
Because he wrote a tell-all, a telenovela of
right.
his fucking murder.
And so Walt said that Jason had been going through it since they moved back too. He was hospitalized for depression, and Kelly had isolated him from everyone. Like, he used to play video games all the time, and then she was like, because he couldn't drive himself anywhere, it was that bad. He couldn't leave the house, so he had to depend on her that much. And when she would come home from work, he'd be like, hey, I gotta go. Kelly's home. Like, but she used to allow it, and apparently he got real depressed because the only person he had was her, and when she was at work, he had
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
You work from home. You know how hard it is.
Fuck yeah.
And that's just working from home.
Yeah.
With lots of friends.
Yeah. When I'm able to leave
yeah.
and to drive and do things. Yeah. So when they got the autopsy results back, he did have tons of heroin in his system. However, he'd also had suspicious bruising around his neck and face. So they ruled it death by strangulation and asphyxiation.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy.
So, okay. 1.5 years ago, Chris disappeared. The prime suspect was 33-year-old Jason Quack, and he was murdered. That's where we're at. Okay. They brought Kelly in, and she was calm, but she was kind of being cocky about it. Like,
it's because of her shoulders.
Like, she was kind of being cocky about it, but everybody said that she's looking at it like a game. Like, she walked in there, and they were like, she thinks she's smarter than us.
Yeah, when it's obvious that she did it.
Yeah, like helpful, but... And so they call Walt back, and they're like, hey, dude, you need to go undercover.
Ooh.
Walt, we need you to go undercover. So he's like, what? No. And then finally he's like, okay. So they took a gamble. They asked him to because he was friends with Kelly too, by the way. Walt was ish, but it's like, I'm friends with Travis, but you're my best friend. That's how it was. Like, gotcha. I wouldn't want to go undercover against Travis unless I thought he murdered you.
Right. Yeah, heard. Great description. Yes. Got it.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't want to come after Will that way.
Yeah, unless you thought he killed me.
Suck.
Right. So they were like, okay, on March 12th, 2016, Walt's like, let's go. So he calls Kelly on a tap line.
Ooh, a tap line.
And the game goes. The police had come up with this plan, and they were like, it was a shot in the dark. They didn't even think it was going to work. Even the lead detective, the other guy came up with it, and she's like, cool, we can try it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So Walt calls Kelly, and he's like, hey, and I listened to this call, and he's like, a few weeks ago, before Jason died, he asked for my address, and she's like, oh, okay. And he said, hey, I got a letter in early January from him, and all it said was, quote, if something were ever to happen to me, please send this in a few weeks. Do not open it. Thanks, quack, quack. Now,
he signed it, quack, quack?
Yes. Side note is that the cops came up with a letter first.
Right. So this was fake, right?
And Walt rewrote it and was like, she's going to know that's fake as fuck. He's my best friend. Let me write it. And that's what he wrote.
Okay.
So he said there's an envelope in here too, and it doesn't have a return address, but it's addressed to the Iron River Police Department. Kelly immediately, she goes, ugh, please don't. That was her response to him on a recorded line with the cops. And they're like, Walt was kind of in the back of his head hoping that he was wrong.
Right.
And he was floored. And he's like, God dang it. Like, she admitted it without admitting it.
If in any other case, you'd be like, absolutely, take that to the cops right now. I want to meet you at the place. Yes. Let's see what is open. Don't open it up. Don't open it.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to get any of the DNA off the top of the envelope. But let's fucking go. I'm on my way. I'm in the car.
Yeah. And she's like, please don't.
Fuck.
Her tone and everything sounded annoyed as fuck. So he couldn't shake the feeling, but he wanted to be wrong. And the police started hammering Kelly again and again and again for weeks. They're like, this bitch did it. We got to figure it out. So on April 26, 2016, she sent a text And I couldn't figure out who the fuck she sent it to, because I know the cops were kind of texting her, trying to bait her, and she would like just read them. Like they could see she read them, but she wouldn't respond. And so I don't know who she sent this to. And all it said was, the West Coast looks beautiful this morning. And they're like, bitch, you're in Indiana, so you're running. So they're like, she ran. Like after we pushed her hard enough, and now she just left Indiana. Yeah. And the lead detective, he started texting her again because he had been. So they issued the nationwide BOLO and kept shooting their shot. They're like, this bitch, she wants to play games. We got to play fucking games with her. So, oh, by the way, poor Walt, he's freaking out because now she knows that he did that with the letter thing, and they can't find her. So he's like, his wife was like, we slept with the lights on. Like and he wanted to leave, and she's like, we'll just sleep with the lights on. I'd be like, we're getting a hotel for a little bit.
I don't know how sleeping with the lights on is going to.
I don't know. That saves me from ghosts.
There was,
no, I know.
Like,
maybe she meant it as like a.
I'm sure it was the concept that they didn't like out of pure fear.
Yeah.
But there was like one audio book where like the killer specifically only targeted dark houses. Oh. And so like every single person, that's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
Every single person had to sleep with their lights on.
Oh.
So everyone had every light on in their house every night because the person would hide in the shadows.
Oh.
So I'm also just like, that's not going to do anything. But I'm like you, if I thought someone was after me, if I was in a situation like that, I say that. I can only afford a hotel for like a week.
Right. Who knows?
So just saying.
Yeah. And so Kelly had, obviously, when you go on the run, you turn her phone off. But the cops, they were like, she's gonna check her phone. She's too cocky. So she was looking at it as a game. So she would turn it back on to read the lead detective's text messages. Like they wouldn't be able to see
Well, that's what they know.
Yeah. But
like they see that she turned it on to read the messages. She could have been on there watching porn.
Yeah. No, like, they said they had it. But they said it was funny because it would only be periodically. But she was nowhere near the West Coast. She was about 2 hours from here in Wingo, Kentucky.
Smart.
Yeah.
That was smart of her.
But they figured it out because they watched her phone.
Right, but it was smart of her.
Yeah. And on April 28th, 2016, they arrested Kelly at her cousin's house for the murders of Chris Regan and her husband, Jason. And at first, Kelly was acting all distraught, like, oh, my husband's dead.
I can't wait to see her motive.
Yeah. She's like, oh my gosh. But they broke her down a little bit. And then they realized that she was in love with Chris, but not in love with her husband anymore. Now, keep in mind, behind all this, Chris wasn't from Iron River and didn't know a lot of people besides Terry. So if Terry hadn't reported him missing, they might have gotten away with it.
100%.
So Kelly finally confessed to killing Christopher Regan. And this is the part that blew her mind. She tells him that on Kelly and Jason's wedding night, they made a pact. She claims it was a joke. But this is a weird joke on your wedding night. That they said, hey, if either one of us cheats on each other, the other person has to take care of whoever they cheated with. This is what she said. And she goes, I guess he took me serious. Even though, yes. So she was saying that that's how they had to do it. So she's like, Jason took me seriously.
Right.
Okay. That's a cool pact.
And also a dude who has a hurt back that can't leave his house because his back is so hurt. How the fuck is he going and killing somebody who's 20 years younger than him?
Right. Oh no. Oh, he's older.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The guy who Chris was in his 30s, right?
Oh, Chris was 50 too, but in way better
backwards.
Shape. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But still way better state of health.
Yeah.
Than that guy. So yeah. So Kelly's like, she lured Chris over. She was like, hey, we should have sex. You should come to my house, which is why the directions were written down in the car.
He didn't know how to. Okay.
Yeah. And then
I'm just like, if they were dating for a while, I guess that was the only time he had her come to the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they like slinked around to other places. And
I'm sure. And he never left the house.
So. Yeah. And so she said when he came over, Jason shot him. And together they dismembered him and dumped his remains in the woods. Now, on May 18th, 2016, in rural Crystal Falls, Michigan, in the UP, it's like deep in the woods where people wouldn't be going. A K-9 unit found the remains of Chris Regan. His skull had a bullet hole in it, and they found bone fragments, so it confirmed that he'd been shot in the head. Jason wasn't alive to defend himself, and I still question, like you said, without even thinking or not, like how did he carry a dude's body parts if he couldn't like work or lift or so that's the part that I don't get.
And organically, just because of my sadly how often I've thought about disposing of dead bodies in our stories that we're like in what we're researching, not because I'm literally like da 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 da. Yeah. But I also watch true crime and murder shit.
Right.
It's a hard and not easy maneuvering thing.
Right.
You know, like it's just dealing with a dead body is hard to do.
Yeah.
Organically. And that's half of the defense in big cases with women killing people is whether or not they could have actually had the physicality to do it.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't sound like he had the physicality to do it.
I know.
But anyone can shoot somebody in the head.
Right. And he's not there to defend himself either way. Right. And that's why in the back of my head, I was like, you were talking about how muscular her arms were.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
But did she have any like to shoot someone in the head isn't easy. Like in this.
Right.
I couldn't just pick up a gun. Like I couldn't hand you a gun right now and tell you to go shoot Drew in the head if you were, you wouldn't get anywhere near his head.
Right.
So I'm also like, which one, whose gun was it? And who was the one trained in using a gun? Because shooting somebody in the head is a very small target, depending on the gun and how you do it.
Yeah. They acted like, her story was that when he came in, they like, some of the things I read said that they were like in the middle of sex, like while they were boning.
Then if she would have shot him.
That Jason came out and shot him.
It could have shot her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't get how that works. Some of them
Not to mention the house would have had so much getting shot in the head.
Yeah.
In the house. Mm-hmm. There's no way you wouldn't have seen all of that.
I don't know. I have a lot of questions that weren't answered because they were like, well, she can, you know, like, but I get it because I'm thinking, so you guys were fucking and he walked up and shot him in the back of the head. That's what
that would have shot you in your face.
Right. That's what I didn't
Or possibly in the back. It depends on how they were fucking.
I mean.
But I've seen Gone Girl. That's some crazy shit. She fucking went after him during sex. Then I shouldn't have said that. You've never seen Gone Girl?
Nope.
I have so many feelings about that.
I know.
It is so aggressively up your alley in every facet.
Okay. I'll watch it.
No, now you should do the book first.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on.
So.
But anyway, so sorry. My biggest like qualm in this is whose gun and who shot.
Yeah. She said Jason's gun, shot.
She's a big lying cunt. Yeah. So nobody cares what she said.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of what they thought too. They were like, well, Jason's gone. One of you did it. You said you did it. Well, here we go.
Like you could have gotten rid of the body, but I'm just curious who actually shot him.
Yeah. And then I forgot I wrote
And whose motive was it?
I forgot. She said it was their pact.
Because that's something stupid that she said. But like, what do you think is the motive?
I think that I don't really know, to be honest with you. It's a very weird, bizarre twist. My thing is, I think that he found out and she was like, and maybe they really did have that fucking pact. I don't know. He wrote a murder book before he died. Like
that's the dumbest fucking thing could. There's so much dumb.
Like, I don't know if she was like, I don't get there. I don't get it. There is a lot of dumb. You know, I like to pick stories where you're like, what the fuck?
It just doesn't. Here's where I'm sitting with it.
Okay.
On the motive side, whether or not, obviously her husband was involved to some degree.
Right.
Because he knew. Mm-hmm. He knew.
Yeah.
Things happened. He got arrested or whatever, interviewed.
Yeah.
He knows something happened.
Right. Quack, quack.
So either way, he was involved to some degree.
Yes.
But I still don't understand the motive for her to kill him because he was single. He didn't have anything to lose in their relationship.
Right.
She did.
Yeah.
So I almost do. Like in this, as we talk through it, I'm like, maybe it was something fucking dumb because they both look like they were rode hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
But in my mind over here, I'm just like, you had no reason to kill him.
Yeah.
Technically.
Right.
He was single. There's no reason besides revenge from the husband being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you could do. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. And it seems unnecessary.
That
his house was ransacked. Why was his house ransacked? What did you steal stuff? Was anything confirmed stolen? They didn't get to, like, they would have had to bring in the other girl who maybe would have known.
Right.
But it's just like,
why? The whole time you're like, why? Because if
you said it was money, though, you did earlier say that he didn't have money, like that they didn't really have money.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like he's gonna. They didn't say that anything was stolen. It just looked like someone came in and tried to fake a robbery. but the only thing that was missing was his car and his phone. And then they found his car. So I don't get it.
And then why did they go back into his house? If she had met them elsewhere.
If Jason found out and he got mad, she could have been like, hey, I can't fuck you anymore. My husband found out. And she claimed to be in love with him. Well, then why did you let your husband shoot? Anyway.
And if you were in love with him and not the other guy, then why didn't you leave him and go to be with him?
Right.
That dude was single.
Right.
He wasn't cheating.
Right. Well,
especially on the... He wasn't. Him and her were together.
There might have been a little bit of crossover on the timelines.
That doesn't mean he was cheating, though.
Well, with Terry... but
he broke up with Terry. So I'm like, I don't understand how I didn't know he had met her. Like, I don't think I understood that he had met her while he was with somebody else.
Yeah. So, but they had kept it a secret.
Did they confirm that they were cheating? That he was cheating?
Rumors. They couldn't confirm.
No, I'm asking like with her.
Oh, with Terry, she said she never admitted it, but she never denied it. And so I just think that she went on vacation and he said he was going to get lonely. So I think she had her suspicions and was like, this isn't going to work out. But she never admitted it on any of the shows or anything.
So then at the end of the day, he was single.
No, confirmed. Yeah.
Even if he was single. So he could have been with her.
Yeah.
And there's no issue. They broke up.
Right.
She's still a friend. Mm-hmm. She thought he was dating. Okay, cool. Fuck somebody else. Date somebody else. Like they could have been together.
Yeah. It makes no sense. And Chris had no ties, no kids. Like he had a good job. So like another thing that I thought about when I was reading this was that maybe she was like, I want to leave my husband. I'm in love with you. And he's like, whoa. I'm going to North Carolina. And she's like, but I'm in love with you. And then she's like, tells Jay, well, Jason, we got to kill him. Remember, we said we'd do it. That's another angle that I thought of. Because it makes no sense. It's not justifying it. But
dumb.
That's the only thing I could grasp for straws on was that she was like, I love you. And he's like, cool, I'm leaving. Like, I'm moving. And she's like, let's get one more roll in the hay. And then tells her husband, well, remember, we promised.
She could have left her husband and been with him.
Exactly.
Like, she still could have traveled with him.
It's fucking
I don't know.
dumb.
I hate murders that are just I hate murders.
Right.
That's
good.
Should we say that? I hate murders.
Yeah.
I don't think murder is the solution to anything unless, you really piss me off.
This is a very educational episode about PSAs.
I mean, I do think there are people that should get murdered. Like anyone who rapes a 12-year-old, a child.
Right.
There are people. That's what the death penalty is for. But I'm just like, there's no reason. There's not even a justifiable, there's not even a motive.
Right.
That's what is insane to me. Like, you don't have a motive. You can say it's a fictitious fucking
pact
that you made in a stupid scenario.
Right.
But
it's dumb.
It is so dumb.
It's sad and it's dumb.
Yeah.
Kelly also eventually confessed to killing her husband, Jason. She overdosed him intentionally with heroin and then smothered him and strangled him. So
she's a winner.
Yeah. So,
and did she ever say why she killed him? I'm assuming he probably was going to tell the cops.
Probably.
That was kind of my thought. I'm like,
or life insurance. I don't know. Maybe
she wouldn't have got it.
I don't know.
A heroin overdose. I feel pretty confident on insurance. A heroin overdose is not that could be considered a suicide.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have assumptions.
Okay, so for Chris, Kelly was found guilty of the following in Iron Rivers, Michigan: first-degree murder, conspiracy to, what is that word? Basically mutilate a dead body, concealing the death of an individual, larceny in a building. So they did get her for robbing him, for stealing something from his house or apartment. And then the other one that basically means she was lying during the investigation. It was like a word that I was like, I'm not looking that up.
No, who cares?
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
In February of 2017, a jury in Iron County deliberated for only 3 hours and found her guilty on all charges. And she got life without parole and then years added on top of that for all the other shit. They shipped her ass back to Northern Indiana to face charges against her husband, Jason, in February of 2018. She initially entered a not guilty plea for some fucking reason. And then she changed it to guilty and then took a deal and got an additional 65 years for that. Now, she burned up all her appeals and they were denied. So the crazy bitch is thankfully behind bars. She was only 34 years old at the time. So she fucked around and found out. And now she's going to spend most of her life in prison. And on top of this, the police are very suspicious to think that she might be tied to other shit. Like
because of how easily she did all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how manipulative and how they were like, there's no way her first round of this was dismembering someone with her. Like,
yeah. I don't know.
It's really,
we've done a lot of them.
That's true.
I'm like, dude, I know I've done sisters who have chopped up a body before together.
Yeah. But I mean, just the first try, like usually it's escalation though.
I don't know. If you kill somebody and you have to get rid of a body, the very first thing that I've seen in multiple shows.
Yeah, that's
just TV shows.
That's true.
Not even a replication of a crime, anything. God, they're stuck cutting up a body.
Yeah. But they're still trying to look in to see if maybe like her trail of, because they did so they don't know. And that is the story of the murder of Christopher Regan and Jason Cochran, aka Quack Quack.
What a crazy bitch, man.
Yeah. And like it was weird. She played the roles well. Like they said that she played
every shit she played well. I saw what she looked like. There ain't no fucking way.
They said that she played like she would hysterical. Like I heard the 911 call. Oh my God, my husband. And then that kind of find out she's the one that shot him up with heroin and put a pillow on his face and strangled him.
I mean, she didn't even know. She's not bright.
No, she thought she was though. That's what they said.
They always do. They all. Somehow people always think they're bright. Like somehow someone's not going to realize that they were also choked.
Yeah.
And that it was hair, and that it's him, and they were just correlated to another case. Like, why do you think
you're gonna get away with it? Right.
And at the end of the day, too, I'm curious how far she could have gotten away with it because of the Post-it note. But the one other thing is because he went missing. I would hope they would have talked to coworkers, and as the coworkers were like, bitches, I have some tea, I'm a spill. Yeah. Because there's no way that once more, if you're having an affair at work and then somebody ends up murdered.
Yeah. They'd be like, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm very excited to tell you about this. Right. Like, in fact, I'm going to call.
Right, yeah.
If I saw that somebody got murdered and I knew they were having an affair, I'm calling the tip line. And I'm actually going to be like, let me tell you all of it. I timestamped my memory. Yeah, and here are some emails that coincide with me talking to Heather about it. And then I have some Snapchat transcripts with Jess that I talked to you about. Here's some screenshots. Right. So it's around the timeline of everything.
Oh, yeah.
I wish you well.
Every time I see somebody strange or I hear a loud bang, I always look at my watch. And I'm never going to remember the time, but maybe. If I'm driving down the road and I'm like, that looks out of place. And I'm like, it is 3:11.
I don't even know why you look at the watch because you literally don't remember anything that I say like 12 times. So,
I know. Well, maybe one day. Maybe
it's just a fictitious exercise. And they're never going to find you either.
Yeah.
Like the cops are never going to find that you were on that highway the day of something
I'm going to find them. I am going to be a vigilante.
I believe that. And I wish you would and bring me into it.
Oh, duh. Then
like, get after it.
Why is she here? She's not even... Because...
Right.
It is a requirement.
Well, that was a fucked up story.
Yeah.
That really left me once more hanging.
I know. There
were holes that I don't understand.
I dug.
Please stop giving me stories that do not give me a good climax. Sorry. I need a confirmed motive.
Yeah.
I need bodies found. I have a very rigid checklist of what I want whenever I have a story.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's such a not feasible thing. Like, you can't just... we all fucking want it. Every judge and jury wants someone to just be like, you know what?
Right.
This is what happened when I was 8. This is what happened when I was 12. Yeah. And this is why I killed those 14 people. It just doesn't fucking happen.
I know, yeah.
I'm always hoping for something.
Sorry to give you true crime blue balls.
Always. It's constant. I gotta go rub it out.
What'd you say? Get your lotion and your TV and your Kleenex.
Man. Dim that music and those lights.
I didn't want to circle back.
You know? Hey, y'all. Don't forget. Don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love you so much. Oh, you know what you need to do? Like, rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes. But we'll still love you either way. But we'll love you more if you do that.
Yes. And we'll know. Because we can feel it.
Well,
we can feel it when someone likes, rates, review, and subscribe.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
We love you, bye.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?